thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral. I'd love to hear them. Uh, just got back from an excellent and a very fun very fun official visit, at Trinity Lodge. So congratulations to Trinity on what was an excellent official visit. Great food. And with that, we're just going to hang out and chill. Jason Shank in super quick. How's it going? Thank you for being here as always. Hope you're doing well. Please take a moment, hit the like button, and let me know how you're doing. By the way, we now have the ability to give gifts as well as, oops, I pinned the wrong comment. Give me 1 second. There we go. As well as super chats. I'm doing well. It was a great official visit. I'm happy to be here. This is going to be a very busy but very fun week within Freemasonry, so I'm looking forward to it. But I hope that you're doing well also. For the time being, let's wait to see who joins. Please hit like, please hit subscribe if you're new. And let's see these 1 a.m. streams. I just hang out. I don't have any specific talking points. We just wait to see who joins. Tomorrow, though, I'm going to talk about, that's better, official visits, how important they are to Freemasonry, and some advice for brethren involved therein. Cat just sneezed. All right, guys, let me know how it's going. Jump in the chat, say hello. Again, we're just going to hang out, chill out, relax, see who joins, and see what you guys want to talk about. Any thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral? I'd love to hear it. We're just going to chill out, hang out, wait to see who joins. Yes, I agree. Bandit is an awesome cat. So, hear that, Bandit? You got fans. All right, for the time being, though, we'll just wait to see who joins. Tell your Wi-Fi said hi. I don't even know what that means, Raphael. Please hit like and subscribe because I think you're new to the stream. And any thoughts you guys have on Freemasonry, let me know. We're just going to wait to see who jumps in the chat. This is kind of a Ask Us Anything streaming. The 1 a.m. streams don't have any specific topics. I just hang out and chat and wait to see who joins. Tomorrow I'll be back on at 1 p.m. discussing official visits and giving some advice. Well, maybe YouTube thinks you do. I mean, Insight, all I can say is you don't have to stick around, but you can also, maybe there's a sign in there somewhere that we're not as evil as you think, or Freemasonry is not as evil as you think, and you can hit the like and subscribe button. But why do you think it's evil? How about that? Do I appear evil to you? Or have you read that Freemasonry is evil? Where is that coming from? We're just going to wait to see who joins. Also, if you want to support this channel, consider a super chat. Just 99 cents helps out big time. And if you want to hit the subscribe button, I am 1 subscriber away from 3,640. Hello, Fluffy Cakes. I hope you're doing well. I can't really speak on religion because I'm not a religious expert by any means. Thank you for the gift, Jason. 6, 7. So there you go. Honoring the youth of today. Now, again, I'm not going to lie. I don't really know very well how gifts work exactly. So I'm still trying to figure it out. But I'm grateful genuinely for that and for all of the support. Please don't forget on March 28th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., I am holding a community services fair at the Windsor Masonic Temple Ballroom. We're going to have a lot of different community services available. It's going to be a blast. I really hope you guys will check it out. I believe in an architect of the universe, the classic show channel. Everybody has a different view of the great architect based on your beliefs. So I believe the architect of the universe is best described as a rational nature of the universe as expressed through geometry and science. Thank you. Yeah, well, the reason I can receive these gifts is because of all of the help that I'm getting through my supporters. So I'm grateful for that, genuinely. Um, if not for you guys, I would not be able to, the help I'm getting would not be possible. Hello, One King David. Hello, the Mystery. I like that name, actually. Well, everybody will define it differently, right? Depending on your point of view and depending on what you believe. Freemasonry is not a religion. So what that means is we have Masons of many different faiths and many different beliefs. But that's one of the things that makes it so good and so strong, in my humble opinion. Um, Hello, Light Free. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Again, Freemasonry, I'm not going to be a reviler of anyone's religious beliefs, right? So whatever it is you believe, I think more power to you. No, we do not. Freemasons don't worship in that sense. Freemasonry is not a religion, so therefore we cannot be worshiping. But Solomon is an important figure within Freemasonry in an allegorical sense. I am. It's 1 a.m. for me. What time is it for you? Well, Freemasonry is not trying to explain our existence. If somebody wanted to have their existence explained to them, I would suggest they look at religious understandings. If somebody wanted to learn more ethical lessons on how to exist within the world today, then I would suggest Freemasonry might be a really good idea. Okay, so you're an hour behind me. I'm 110. You're 11. I'm sorry, 110. You're 12:10, so you're an hour behind me. That is not true, just for Joshin. That is incorrect. Plus, why is 33rd degree always so important to you guys? Why is that relevant? What about York Rite? What about Eastern Star? What about the youth groups? 33rd represents 1 degree out of many, and it doesn't flip the script and worship Lucifer in any event. I hope you guys are doing well. Please take a moment, hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you to everybody who's been here so far. And again, thank you. We had record numbers of people watching our streams in February. We're going to keep going up in March. 3rd degree, just Josh. And 3rd degree is the highest degree within Freemasonry. So ethics do not come from the Word of God. Morals come from the Word of God, depending on what you believe. Ethics and morals are a little bit different, right? Ethics relate to how you interact within a specific profession or organization, and then how you apply those principles outside or those actions to the larger world, right? For example, if you are a social worker, you have a code of ethics, not a code of morals. Hello, Davey Forrest. Thank you for being here. Please hit like and subscribe. We don't have spells within Freemasonry. Hello from Wyoming. Hello from Canada. Thank you for being here. It's great to have you back. Click. I've been missing you and your crazy streams and your crazy comments. No, there's many different types of Masons. I'm saying the highest degree is the 3rd degree. 33rd is not a higher degree. I know it's a higher number, but you got to understand it doesn't mean it's a higher degree. It's a very simple way to look at it. 33rd is just an honorific. It's kind of like getting Mason of the Year. It doesn't make you more important than a 3rd degree or higher than a 3rd degree. George Washington wasn't the first Mason. I mean, the first Mason, it's debatable. But from a Freemason perspective, the first Masons were probably 3 brothers in Scotland in 1634, something like that. Oh, big crud. You have been looking at way too much nonsense on social media. Hey, as somebody who's getting older, I agree with you. Days go slow and years go fast. That is one thing I've definitely learned. Today was into congratulations. What was it about, Thomas? I hope you'll let me know. Too many religious sheep. I wouldn't say that, Timothy Carroll. I'm never going to be a reviler of anyone's religious beliefs or call them sheep. I think religion can be a great way for people to find comfort and understanding in a world that very often provides little of both. Um, so in Freemasonry, I mean, I guess there's one degree, brother, right? We're all brothers, so there's that one degree. In terms of personally knowing people, I mean, I think there's so many Freemasons, again, so many less than before, but I mean, the number of connections between people, it depends how active you are, I suppose, and how much you travel. That's awesome, Thomas. That indicates you had a story, you had a life worth telling people about, which is something you should be proud of. So good for you. Keep up the good work. And was it in the local newspaper or was it for a national newspaper? Well, we don't have little meetings, we have meetings. And I mean, I've never had to say that because in the meetings, they're all Freemasons, and so they know what's going on. Unlike you, big crud, who does not know what you're talking about. Thoughts on Aleister Crowley? Not a big fan. Overrated. Probably clandestine, to be perfectly frank. So probably not a legit Mason also, which is frustrating when a non-legit Mason, you know, writes something and people view him as legit. It's questionable whether he was actually a Mason or was clandestine. Um, why must money and power be the point of anything, right? Why is money and power important? I mean, you need enough money to live, I suppose. I mean, you don't need power. I mean, maybe if you are interested in politics or whatever, power may interest you as a way to implement whatever changes you want. But you make it sound as though, like, what's the point if not money and power? Why is that the most important thing? Or why must that be the point? What if the point is enjoying one another's company and fulfilling the human desire for connection? What's the point of going out with your friends on a Friday night, if not because you enjoy their company? People have asked me, what is Freemasonry all about? It's about the belief that spending time with others is a worthwhile endeavor. You can do that through Freemasonry, you can do that through sports, you can do that through church, you can do that through a knitting club. Freemasonry is how I choose to do that. Um, I'll do my best. Money cannot buy you love. Money can maybe buy you company, but that's not the same thing. Well, I mean, brotherhood, sure. I would put it a little bit more basic than that. Connections, right? Friendship, right? If you want to, yes, with Freemasonry, it's very often a fraternity. So brotherhood is kind of a good way to describe it. However, I would just keep in mind there's many ways. I would say it's more just a human desire for connection, right? And the belief that it's worth spending time with people. Even people who are very introverted and prefer to be on their own do recognize that sometimes you need to be around other people. Hello, Daniel Barry Sport Highlight. Happy Monday. Please hit like and subscribe. Think you're new to the stream? Well, Masonry is not free. There are dues. It depends on how much, the lodge you're joining. There can be dues anywhere from $25 a year to a couple $100 a year. It just depends. I have never played the video game Kingdom of Hearts. FF Pirate, please hit like and subscribe. Brendan Mackley, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you, your local Spurs fan, for being here. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great night, and I really appreciate you being here. We're just going to give it a bit of time and wait to see who joins once again. Hello from Ireland. I'd love to visit Ireland one day. I think that'd be incredible. Rodolph, welcome. Well, I'm sensitive about dumb people on the stream, I suppose. Who do you trust more to heal me? I don't believe in faith healing like that. Having said that, I don't think Donald Trump is a doctor, so I don't think he's going to heal me. I suppose what I'd say is let's hope I never require healing. And Ireland is absolutely beautiful, without question. Um, well, I say that I've never had the chance, sadly, to visit in person, but I would love to visit one day because the pictures I've seen indicate that it is absolutely gorgeous. There is no Masonic way to do that other than, I suppose, the same way anybody should do, which is be kind, respectful, and a good husband. And I guess that's all you can do. And respectful. No, let's not be doing that, Rodolph. I have smoked cigarettes in the past, but I don't right now. It's been a long time. My cat is currently going to the washroom, and boy, does she really have to go. No, I 6. It is not true. We're just hanging out, waiting to see who joins. Again, please hit like and subscribe, and I hope everybody's doing well. We made it to over 6,000, sorry, over 3,460 subs, I think. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me get the correct number. 3,640 subs. So my hope is we can maybe get to over 4,000 subs this month. Um, I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to that idea. I don't know about holding public office, Travis Lundby. I think if you are a police officer, you should have to advise your superior officers that you are a Mason. But I don't think the public needs to know necessarily. Well, I mean, I'm here. I don't know what you mean by offering to join. You shouldn't be getting offers to join. You should be interested in joining of your own free will and accord. I don't think Freemasonry should be making offers, but I'm happy to talk about being a Freemason. I'm proud of being a Freemason, and I enjoy talking about it. Um, Manny, I didn't know if they're going to do that or not. I'm not a huge comic book fan, Manny be chillin'. For me, it's all about scary movies. Yes, to be one, ask one. No, Rodolph, we are not the same as Bohemian Grove or Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones is a fraternity in Yale, if I recall correctly. Bohemian Grove is, I don't even know what that is, but it's not connected to Freemasonry. I think it's a bunch of rich dudes who burn an owl effigy or something. Well, nobody should be forced to register based on their religious beliefs, and nobody should be forced to register based on a group they belong to. I'm pretty sure that's a violation of the First Amendment, in the States, anyways. And no, that should not be what happens. However, if you hold, taxpayer-funded office or taxpayer-funded jobs, I have no problem with the requirement to disclose to your superior officers. Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm here. I'm not rich or prosperous. If you're gonna help me be rich and prosperous, you can do a super chat. Just 99 cents would help me out big time. We choose not to. We can talk about whatever we want, but I choose not to. I've talked about why a bunch of times on this channel. Maintaining the privacy of our rituals and ceremonies maintains and strengthens the bonds of brotherhood between past, present, and future generations. Um, some of them I get. I just got a gift of, 67. I'm grateful for that. If anybody wants to give me a gift, I'd very, very much appreciate it. Um, Thank you, Mystery. That's incredibly kind of you. Oops. So George Washington was not the first Mason. The first Mason was out of, and thank you for the gift. That's incredibly kind as well. Was likely out of Scotland in 1634. They were three brothers. He was a Mason, though. He was for sure. Apparently, but you can help me out with doing some super chats and some gifts. Why would I say your name? What's in it for me? Do a super chat. Yeah, you can give gifts on this stream. I've got 48, I guess, coins worth of gifts at the moment. or jewels, I think they're called. Thank you, Jason, sending ketchup crisps for 30 jewels. Homer Simpson was a stone cutter and a fictional character, but very cool for both of them. But that was a great episode. Most people, like me, absolutely love it. I think it's hilarious. I think it's fun. I don't like mind as a Freemason seeing Masons kind of having taken the piss a little bit. I think it's awesome. Not all of them mysteries. Some were, some weren't. I mean, George Washington was, Paul Revere, Ben Franklin. About 13, if I recall correctly, were of the 39 founders. Thank you, Rando, for a gift. That's incredibly kind. Well, most people make fun of me for my teeth, so I appreciate that. Um, Thank you for the thumbs up. That is very, very kind of you. I mean, certainly most famously, look, I've said before, there are definitely Masonic influences within the founding of America, but not exclusively, right? There were many other influences as well. So, but again, I hope everybody's having a great night. Thank you for joining. I had a great official visit at Trinity Lodge. It was a blast. Sponsored in what way to join? If you want to join Freemasonry, you do need to get sponsors, but that comes after your initial contact with the lodge. So just focus on making contact with them and go from there. What do you mean? I mean, Masons are different everywhere. That's one of the beautiful things about Freemasonry. Um, I'm sorry they were snooty. Rainbow's an excellent organization. There's actually an event happening on Wednesday for Rainbow that I plan to attend. Um, Well, that's not how it works. There is no circle, but you don't use me as a sponsor. What you need to do first and foremost is approach the local Masonic Lodge, express your interest in joining, and go from there. Trinity Lodge here in Windsor. Trinity Lodge was a common name. There are a lot of Masonic lodges named Trinity. There are 7 lodges that meet here in Windsor. I'm a member of 5 of them. Sorry, I'm a member of 3 of them. I'm a member of 5 Masonic lodges in total. Um, Chris, we're talking about Freemasonry. I started Screen Compass Promotions to promote the ways Freemasonry was and is relevant to the cities and communities in which it's located, as well as share stories of Masonic interest. Plus, I want to turn my passion for Freemasonry into a profession. So there you go. Chris, please hit like and subscribe. Help me turn my passion for Freemasonry into a profession. And in the meantime, we enjoy one another's company. Well, I've never heard of that. DMLA is another excellent group. There are no circles of any sort. I think, yeah, DMLA is an excellent group, an excellent part of the Masonic family. You don't have to run around naked. That's stupid. And if you believe you have to run around naked, then you're dumb. Hello. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. No, that's fine, Brendan. And you don't have to, Freemasonry is not for anyone. And by all means, I'm just happy that you're here. If you want to learn more about it but never join, that's perfectly fine. It's just wonderful to have you here and part of the channel. So thank you for being part of the family. I hope you'll hit like and subscribe. Turn on your notification bell so whenever I'm doing a channel, whenever I'm doing anything, you will get a notification of it. So Freemasonry is none of those things. It is not Saturn worship. It is not Black Cube worship. It is not worship of any sort. Freemasonry is not a religion. When I hear the term worship, I think about it in religious context. Freemasonry doesn't worship anything because it's not a religion. I don't think anybody would say that Christians only need the church. I think certainly the church is very valuable, but I think for most Christians they do require more than that. Nope, Freemasonry is not a religion. I love Freeski. You are wrong. Um, and it is not the worship of the false lord of light, Lucifer, either. So you are wrong as well. Um, so you guys are all, well, not all of you, but the people who are saying that are incorrect, spending way too much time online. Um, I hope you take the moment in the meantime to hit like, to hit subscribe. Let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry. And you're welcome to put anything you want. I'll tell you that you're wrong, but you're still welcome to put anything you want. I mean, to my knowledge, now look, I am not a theological expert, so I'm the worst person to be asking about this or talking about this. So I'm giving you exclusively my opinion and my understanding, which is based on the Christians I know. Mostly what they would say is the one thing that they need is Jesus Christ, and that's it. However, the church and community helps them feel closer to Jesus. Um, no, Chris, Freemasonry is not the same thing as Illuminati. Illuminati started in 1776 by an Adam Weishaupt. It was kind of an anti-Masonic group in many ways. Really, since the 1910s, it hasn't been relevant, even before that, in any meaningful way. I don't really think it even exists anymore. Um, their relationship with God, yes, absolutely. Well, squares and circles are both geometric principles or geometric concepts or shapes. No, Mason is not a mafia for anyone. Masonry is also not a religion, nor are there religious requirements to join. So you can be, um, you can be Protestant, Catholic, Jewish, Hindu, Sikh, Muslim, and join Freemasonry. Well, it doesn't really mean anything in a Masonic context, although both squares and circles are important symbols within Freemasonry. Square, the idea of square conduct. Circles, the idea of a center. Those things are important in Freemasonry. Squaring the circle, though, that's always been like a geometric idea. I think it was Archimedes who first talked about the idea of squaring a circle, which basically means trying to create a circle with the same area or the same area space as a square, if I recall correctly. No, we attempt to promote, um, I guess, brotherly love, relief, and truth. However, we also promote being faithful to one's own religious beliefs. So if you're a Christian, certainly you're expected to remain part of, your church and to show support for Jesus Christ and or not support even to worship as you will. Your worship and your faith should come before Freemasonry. Something I believe. Well, I think I rationalize the universe. I think one of the greatest gifts I have is um, the fact that I try to be rational. I think rationality is a good thing. But different people have different views, right? Some people will say, for example, that they are more spiritual in their understanding of the universe, which is perfectly fine. Nope, Freemasonry is not a religion. Well, Satanic Temple would be a religion or religious understandings, which Freemasonry is not. There is no Masonic devil nor Masonic God. The individual Masons will have their understanding of devil and hell and heaven, and they may be Christian, they may be Jewish, they may be Hindu, they may be Sikh, but it is a civic institution, not a religious one. It occupies different spaces. Look up Luciferianism. I think somebody's been reading too much Albert Pike. I know what Luciferian is. But again, Freemasonry is not Luciferian. Albert Pike may have been Luciferian. That doesn't mean Freemasonry is. Um, I do not attend astro meetings. Honestly, Travis, I wouldn't even say it's a philosophy, though there are philosophical elements to Freemasonry. Ultimately, I would say it's a civic club, it's a civic group, it's an institution. Now, within the civic institutions, there can be philosophical understandings, which, no different than sports teams. Like if you're a member of a football club, if you're a member of a team, you play football, that brings with it certain philosophical understandings, the understanding or the value of teamwork, of practice, of physical fitness, of fair play and sportsmanship. Those are all philosophical lessons you learn from being a football player. Freemasonry is the same way. You learn certain ethical or philosophical lessons from being a Freemason, but it's not inherently a philosophy. Um, the opposite, Albert Pike spoke very little. Albert Pike gave his own opinions. The idea that Freemasonry Luciferian is simply not the case. Welcome everybody who's joining. Thank you for being here. Please hit like and subscribe. No, none of that is true. Explain to the chat Albert Pike's. Well, Albert Pike wrote Morals and Dogma. So in his mind, from what I understand, he was a Christian but also a Luciferian. He believed that Lucifer, the serpent in the garden, was not the same entity as Satan, the fallen angel. That Lucifer, the serpent in the garden, was actually more of a light bringer, like Prometheus from ancient Greek, who brought, the knowledge of fire to man, who brought knowledge to mankind and was punished for it. He viewed the serpent in the same way as somebody who brought knowledge to humanity. He was not the same as the fallen angel. So therefore, Lucifer is a metaphor for any time one acquires any type of knowledge. However, as Albert Pike also points out, you need to be careful that this knowledge does not blind you. Too much knowledge without wisdom, too much knowledge without proper understanding can actually be incredibly dangerous, like a toddler with a gun, right? It's dangerous to have too much wisdom if you don't have knowledge and wisdom, or too much knowledge if you don't have wisdom. And so he said, like, Lucifer is the idea of a bringer of knowledge. Therefore, anytime you learn something or acquire knowledge, you are doing so under the guide of Lucifer. However, if you do not have wisdom, and I think Albert Pike was a Christian, so I think he may have viewed Jesus as the wisdom element to it. Others could view other types of religious figures. If you don't have the wisdom to properly see, you're going to be blinded by the knowledge, and it's going to be too bright for you to actually understand what's happening. So there you go. Right again, but again, rando. Albert Pike, and I don't agree with this. I'm not a religious person. I'm not saying I agree with Albert Pike, but in Albert Pike's mind, Satan and Lucifer are different creatures, different entities, different beings. I am not a magician. Jeremy, you can't. Well, I think you can have wisdom without knowledge, but you cannot. Wisdom without knowledge is required to apply wisdom. It's a bit like having scissors with nothing to cut. If I have a pair of scissors, but no one's ever, but I show them to someone who's never seen them before. If I don't have something to cut and demonstrate what they are for, people may never know. In the same way, wisdom requires knowledge. So, for example, here's a great example. If you have wisdom, you have a level of common sense. So, knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. You need the knowledge first that tomato is a fruit to then demonstrate your wisdom in not putting it in fruit salad. Vasil, please hit like and subscribe. I don't know what's going on with you. But we're getting a little bit too many of these, so let's just put you in a timeout for a bit. Well, thank you, Jason, for the gift. That's incredibly kind once again. Hello, best year. You know what would make it my best year? If you hit the like and subscribe button. You owe me. I am subscribed. Well, I appreciate you being subscribed very much, but being subscribed doesn't mean I necessarily owe you, although I'm grateful. I did survive the fire alarm. I have no idea. I mean, it went on for a long time and then it just stopped. I'd never heard if it was a false alarm or a legit. I've not seen any, damaged apartments, so I'm not sure. But it was a pain in the butt, that's for sure. Um, would it make a difference if I was or wasn't? Um, well, my cat was perfectly fine as well. Again, there was no fire. I didn't evacuate. I ended the stream and just hung out in my hallway and talked to a neighbor for a bit who had to deal with, the same thing I was dealing with. But, I don't know. We all survived. If there was a real fire, I would totally bring my cat with me. I mean, again, I don't actually go downstairs because I'm in a wheelchair, so I have to wait for the fire to come get me. Or the firemen to come get me, excuse me. The fire people to come get me. Um, it happened like, what, a few weeks ago now? I am not from Satan. I am from Winnipeg, Manitoba. I definitely believe in space. I 100% believe in space. I may not believe in aliens, but I believe in space. Um, well, the fire people will come help me. The fire crew will come help me. They know to come get me if I need to evacuate. We got hearts. That might be Smokey the Clown. Smokey, if that's you, thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining me on our stream. It was a blast. Let's get you back on March 29th. I'd be grateful for that as well. For now, we're just hanging out, waiting to see who joins. No specific topics, just answering questions. I have a cat. I'm not married. I have a cat, though, so that's got to count for something. Hello, Miss Ruby, saying hi. Thank you for saying hi. By the way, I just started having the gift option on my streams. I've currently got 58 coins, so I appreciate that very much. I am a speculative Mason, and thank you, Josh, for doing the push-up challenge with me. I appreciate it very much. Please hit like and subscribe. No, you gotta start the process on your own by approaching the lodge, and you go from there. Hello, Cap Owns. I'm not against marriage. I think people should 100% get married. It just hasn't happened for me yet. Maybe it's because I'm too ugly and talk too much to find a wife who'd want to put up with me. Can you blame them? Who would want to be married to me? Oh my God. Those poor people. With this ugly face. A speculative Mason is basically a Freemason. It's one who is part of a civic group known as the Freemasons. It's different than an operative Freemason, which is someone who actually works on stone and builds things. Um, well, thank you. I remembered you this time, Capones, I think. Maybe I'm gay, maybe I'm not best year. Would it make a difference if I was or wasn't? Um, that's true, Josh. I shouldn't say those things about me. I'm a very handsome, handsome fella. No, that's not how it works. If you want to join the lodge, the first thing you need to do is contact the lodge directly and express your interest in joining. Um, First person, that seems a little bit unnecessarily cynical. I mean, don't believe in true love? I'm a big sucker. I'm a huge fan of the Hallmark Christmas movies, where it's all like those romantic Hallmark movies. So I think marriage is great, and I think all the people I've met who've been married and the marriages have worked out have said it was for the best, and I believe it. I think going through life with a partner is probably a really good thing. I remember your name. I don't remember when you first started watching, but I definitely remember your name. Um, Hopefully that changes over time. Well, because Mad 721, because Albert Pike was giving his opinions. He was not speaking for Freemasonry. In his view, all knowledge, not just within Freemasonry, but all knowledge came from Lucifer, not Satan. Lucifer, the serpent, was different than Satan, who was cast out of heaven by Michael. So, in his view, just light, which was a metaphor for knowledge, comes from Lucifer. However, he also pointed out that if you achieve this knowledge without having the proper wisdom, through, for example, he was a Christian, so I assume for him it was through Jesus, it will blind you and lead you astray. Um, it's up to you to start the process, So I'm not going to start the process for you. If you want to find a Masonic Lodge in your area, approach them and you go from there. Again, seems to me you're being needlessly cynical, first person. I'm not saying those things don't happen. I'm saying I'd like to think it's still possible for men to find happiness in marriage. I know men who find happiness in marriage. So take that for whatever it's worth. Get yourself to sleep, Joshua, but thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Who says I'm in Winnipeg? I grew up in Winnipeg. Um, well, it's interesting. It's a fascinating question theologically, and I'm not an expert on this, but the idea of who was the actual serpent in the garden. Some argue it was not, some say it's the devil, others say it was a different figure altogether. It's kind of interesting for whatever it's worth. Um, all right, Rodolph, I'm just going to put you in a timeout. Thank you, everybody, once again for all of the support. I had a record number of views in February. Let's go for a record number of views in March. But for now, we're going to wait to see who joins. I did not used to be the Alaskan Bush people. Tommy Jewel, please like and subscribe. I have not. Caesar's gotten close a couple of times, but he seems to be calming down a bit. Well, people ask me, for example, whether I'm gay or straight. My answer is always, it doesn't matter whether I'm gay or straight. Freemasonry does not discriminate. So I never answer that one way or the other, but people make assumptions. My face is wonderful, Derek. I don't know what you're talking about. But I am, and on a side note, I am an organ donor, proud to be one. So make sure that, in my opinion, everybody should take the time to fill out their organ donation cards. Let people know your wishes and donate your organs after you die. You're not going to need them where you're going, but other people could use them down here. We're just going to hang out for a bit longer, wait to see who joins. We'll be ending this stream shortly. I will be back on tomorrow, 1 p.m. And I look forward to seeing you all then, maybe, hopefully. It's more like I try not to answer them. Sometimes the answers come out anyways, but I try my best to not answer because if something's irrelevant to being a Freemason or to my Masonic journey, and I answer those questions, it gives people the wrong idea. For example, if I go to paint your house and you ask me if I'm gay before you hire me, right? By answering that question, I'm implying that there's a value to that question. Whereas not the only question that matters, or the one question that matters is how well can I paint your house and how much will I charge? There is no story, Eric, as to why I'm in a wheelchair, or Eric, I was just born this way. So I was born in a wheelchair. Well, I wasn't born in a wheelchair. That would have been a painful birth for my mom. I was born missing my legs, and once I got old enough, I started using a wheelchair. I don't know, Drumpel, if I believe in heaven and hell. I'm not sure. Um, I believe there is an immortal idea that exists within every human being. I think that immortal idea exists beyond our death. Whether it is conscience after death, I don't know, or conscious after death, I don't know. Um, I don't need any free painting. I'm doing just fine. Welcome, Gooey. Thank you for being here. Welcome, Legend Jesus. Thank you for being here. I'm doing well. By the way, once again, I now have um, the gift option available. So please consider giving or leaving me some gifts during the stream. I've got a thumbs up. I've got some chips. I've got a 67. I'm grateful for it all. I definitely don't think we're living in hell, first person. I don't get me wrong. There's a lot of challenges in the world right now and a lot of difficulties, and a lot of people are going through really difficult times. I don't want to downplay any of that. But again, let's try to look on the bright side if we can and be positive. I mean, I don't think I have a cold. I'm feeling okay. When I talk a lot, my voice does get a little bit, whatever the word is, lower or more hoarse. Well, I mean, is it like whose credit card is it? I wouldn't spend it because I would try to return it to its rightful owner. Are you asking me what if I had unlimited money that belonged to me and I could spend forever? Or are you asking me what if I found a credit card with unlimited money? If it's the latter, I would return it to its owner if I could. If it's the former and I actually own the credit card, I mean, it gets really tough when you actually try to think about things. I would first, though, spend as much money as I could to refurbish and lift up every Masonic building around the world to make sure that they all can exist for the next 100 years. Um, is what I would do. Because I'm very handsome, CDXX, please hit like and subscribe. Well, I give it to the clerk. Well, it depends. I mean, obviously, what I would do probably, honestly, is if there was contact information in the wallet, I would return it to the clerk, but then I would call the gentleman and say, I found your wallet. I gave it to the gas station clerk. And I would record when I gave it to the clerk. That way, I don't have to hold on to it myself, but I've told the gentleman that he lost it and where he can find it. Well, I mean, again, the problem is that's the first thing I would do. I have unlimited spending, so presumably I would do that next. My concern is it's not as simple as just spending the money on it, right? Like you need a plan. You need to sit down and actually think about how you're going to because so I need to first buy the food. Okay. But then I need to think about how can I store the food and transport the food? Because if I buy all the food but don't have adequate storage or adequate transportation, the food is going to go bad before I can get where it can get where it needs to go. And the people are going to be starving, waiting on rotten food. So you need to think about the storage facilities, the transportation, the type of food, because again, there's different types of food that are useful in different areas. Like if you're in the middle of a famine, there's a certain type of food that's very nutritionally dense that you can get to people quickly, like peanut butter, for example. If you are in a place where maybe you're not undergoing a famine and maybe you have cooking, what are your resources? Do you have access to cooking? Who is getting it first? People on the street or people food insecure? I mean, the point is there's stuff I could do immediately and stuff that would actually require a lot of logistical planning. Thank you, CDXX. Please hit like and subscribe to everybody watching this. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Well, lodges, I just came from a lodge. We had a great meal. There are some Masonic lodges that have like community dinners. Yeah, it depends on the lodge and their ability and their finances and the volunteers they have. But certainly that can take place. Once again, please take a moment, hit like, hit subscribe. I'm grateful for everybody who's here so far. They're very big. They're very big. I've grown to accept it. But yeah, in fact, in Windsor, we used to every year do a Christmas dinner, which was really, really fun for not just us alone, but for people who are homeless or living on the streets. We would, or just alone, we would do a Christmas dinner every year. We would host it along with Santa's elves. I do this for a living, best year. So please give me a super chat, give me some gifts. I'd very much appreciate it. It would help me very much continue my goal of turning my passion for Freemasonry into a profession. Um, I don't think sixes, I don't believe in lucky or unlucky numbers, though I am a lover of Friday the 13th movies. So there you go. Um, Spirulina. I mean, sure, that makes sense. I mean, I would suppose my goal in life has always been just to try to eat a variety of food, but try to eat healthy. AMLE, please hit like and subscribe. I don't know enough about numerology to say Drumple, so I can't really speak on it because it's not something I know much about. But I have no issue with numerology as a general idea. I mean, I don't believe in it in the same way I don't believe in tarot cards, but I find it interesting from an entertainment perspective. Um, Thank you, Eric Sanchez. Don't forget when you're watching my shorts, leave a comment or two. That helps out big time with people finding the stream. I don't know. I didn't check anything recently. I mean, according to CNN, which you can take as you want. Well, legend, now you sound like Pythagoras. Israel hits Beirut and Tehran as U.S. Gulf allies fend off fresh Iran attacks. Um, Growing number of nations issue travel warnings. I talked about those this morning. Trump vows big wave of strikes imminent. So I don't think so. What's the clip? I look handsome. I've done Ouija boards before. I don't believe in Ouija as in magic, but I think they're entertaining. A great scary movie that is grossly underappreciated is Ouija from like 2015, I think it was. Um, don't forget about that. One of those gifts. It'd be very much appreciated. You can give a thumbs up, some chips, all sorts of fun stuff. I am a Freemason. I'm just going to call you Swinger. I've been a Freemason for just about 20 years. I started this stream to talk about my love of Freemasonry and to turn my passion for Freemasonry into a profession. Well, fair enough, but please hit like and subscribe nonetheless. Would be much obliged. My suspicion is he just looks different because he's getting a lot older. So, I mean, that's my suspicion. An operative Mason, Jeremy. They would be called an operative Mason or just a Mason. I shouldn't say just. Operative Mason or Mason. Um, that's true. You need to be really careful about seeing stuff online and assuming it's true. It could very well be AI, and there's going to be more and more AI issues and deepfakes coming up, without a doubt. I was in Hollywood a few years ago, and I loved it, Metro PCS. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Freemasonry has a really incredible connection to Hollywood, California. Really, really cool stuff. So thank you for being here. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. Consider a super chat. I'd be, grateful. If you can, if you can't, no worries. Well, I wouldn't say that. I have hemorrhoids. What you should be doing is listening to your doctors and doing as they instruct. Now, you should ask them questions. You don't want to follow blindly, but you should trust them. They went to medical school. So if your doctor is recommending chemotherapy, get chemotherapy, period. We're going to end this stream in about 5 minutes. I'll be back on tomorrow at 1 p.m. I look forward to seeing all of you guys there. I think Mona Lisa has auburn hair, unless that's one of those Mandela effect things of which I'm not aware. Well, I would not follow first person Victoria's advice, just for the record, but I guess they're going to do what they're going to do. Yeah, but I think you have to appeal to authority in life because you have to recognize you don't know what you don't know, right? Doctors get it wrong in the past. I'm sure they'll get it wrong in the future. I'm sure they're getting some things wrong now. But you have to weigh that against your lack of knowledge completely, and you will get more things wrong without listening to a doctor. Um, well, I'm not going to leave Freemasonry, but Jesus can love me, and I can love Jesus, and I can be a Freemason. Or I can be a Muslim and a Freemason, or Jewish and a Freemason. Freemasonry, the issue or the point is, it's not a religion, and it does not replace one's religious beliefs, despite what you may think otherwise. And no, Freemasons are not evil. Welcome once again. Um, all right, well, you don't know what you're talking about. I have hemorrhoids. You're not a doctor. I don't buy it. And I don't want people taking medical advice from our friend. I have hemorrhoids. We're going to be ending this stream in about 5 minutes. Well, I mean, if you go because you have a broken arm, why are they a joke, right? Um, Clearly, they have some value and some use. I mean, I am not opposed to big pharma as someone who's required medications in the past. I have issues with big pharma for sure, but who doesn't, right? Something can be for profit and good, something can be free and bad. It's a bit more complicated than automatically assuming it's, for profit automatically means bad. And by the same token, assuming that free is always good. Things are more complicated than that. Legend, I did not inherit money, but give me a super chat, help me out. Well, the 1 a.m. streams, I tend to go for an hour. The 1 p.m. streams, I tend to go for 2 to 3 hours usually. No lodge tomorrow. I will be doing these streams and I will be doing a lot of work I got to catch up on. A lot of social media posts as always. So please take a moment, hit like, hit subscribe. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Freemasonry is not Jewish, nor is it mysticism. So you're wrong on both counts. Louis, welcome. I think you've been here before. If not, welcome. I mean, Da Vinci was a very smart man. I don't believe he could predict the future. Oh, that's a good question, Rando. Top 5 educational books or movies? Well, do you mean like movies and books made for a specifically educational purpose, like manuals or like scientific books, like God of the Multiverse, which I really liked? Or do you mean just books that taught me things? Because I learned a lot about human nature from A Simple Plan, for example, which is an incredible book. I learned a lot from The Long Walk, from On Writing by Stephen King. I don't know what that means, Charlie. If it means I'm very smart, then yes. So Solomon means a lot to Freemasons. Solomon is a very important apocryphal and legendary figure within Freemasonry. But keep in mind, Solomon is also important in the Muslim faith and the Christian faith, and also to just historians and archaeologists searching for the first temple, right? He's not exclusive to any one religious faith or belief. And we have many Masons who, for example, find Solomon to be valuable in terms of allegory and metaphorical understandings, but don't believe he literally exists. For example, Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, Indigenous, Freemasons, First Nations, myself, I tend not to believe Solomon literally exists, but I appreciate his, the lessons one can glean from his stories. Well, thank you, Mario Heat. I appreciate you being here for night and day streams. Hello, Samantha Watkins. Please hit like and subscribe. Well, because Freemasonry evolved from Stone Masonic guilds, Stone Masonry is all about stone, buildings built out of stone. Solomon's Temple was an example of a project on which many stonemasons worked, so it makes sense that it'd be important to Freemasonry. They've never found anything there. I think it's all a big tease. Um, I don't think I ever called you gay, Ice Gardens, but whether you're gay or straight is irrelevant to being here on the stream. We have, you can be gay and be on the stream. It doesn't make a difference, or be part of the chat. Legend Jesus, that's okay. I appreciated you being a subscriber and having the membership. I was grateful for the support that provided, but if you don't want to be a member, I completely understand. I appreciate any support you give one way or the other. So, if you want to be a member, be a member. If you don't. That taught you good principles of science in any field. I mean, I would say then God in the Multiverse, a book by Stephen Hawking. I can't remember its name. I really enjoyed a lot of YouTube videos about quantum physics. I can't remember the name of those ones either. Brian Greene, I thought, had some great stuff. I enjoy science. So, hey, if you just did 1 month, I appreciate it very much, Legend. There's no, I'm grateful whether you do it every month or 1 month or not at all. If you're here and you just subscribe and like and comment, that is incredibly kind of you as well. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think we are, but things change so quickly. I guess we'll find out. Peace, Alexander. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. I know I look like Shrek. I've grown to accept it. I'm almost at 3,650 subs. Who's your favorite scientist, Rando? Who is your favorite scientist? Mine would be Newton or Einstein. Thank you, Peace, Alexander. That's very kind of you. I am going to be ending this stream in a second. Some of them have, yeah, absolutely. My good friend Igor, my good brother Igor Strukin, has been on a few, as has Michelle Broussard. All right, guys. I'm going to be ending this stream, but I will be back on tomorrow, 1 p.m. Thank you all for being here. I'm Canadian. How is he my dictator? I am a past master and a current master. Hey, that's a great person. He was ridiculed. He did keep going. There's a very valuable lesson in that. Just keep going. No matter how tired you get or tired you feel, just keep going. Put one foot in front of the other. Put one wheel in front of the other. If you're like me in a wheelchair, you'd be amazed at things you can accomplish. Advance, please hit like and subscribe. Science, Freemasonry is not about power, so you're in the wrong spot. I would say we have more than that. I mean, I don't know how much more, but I think we'll see. We'll see what happens. Well, that's foolish. Science, truth. Searching for power is dumb. Why do you think you, at the end of the day, even have any power? Power is worth having. You should focus on being a good person. Leave this idea of power to somebody else. Good for you, Rando. Keep up the good work. The more you study, the more useful you become in life. That's an ethical understanding from Freemasonry. And I think it's true. I think the more you learn, the more you try to learn about the world, the better off you can be in terms of how you contribute to the world. All right, guys, be back on tomorrow, 1 p.m. And I look forward to seeing you guys very soon. Thank you again for being here. All right, talk to you later.